Hello friends, you are welcome to my YouTube channel JK Academy India. In this video, we will discuss other parameters of AC alternator, or we can say synchronous generator. Rating of alternators. The rating of all power apparatus, whether mechanical, that is steam or IC engine, or electrical machines, depend upon the power which they can handle safely and efficiently under some specific conditions. Electrical machines or apparatus are usually rated as per the load they can carry without overheating and damaging the insulation. The rating of electrical machines is governed by the temperature rise caused by the internal losses of the machine. The copper loss, called I square R, in the armature depends upon the magnitude of current passing through the armature conductors, and core loss depends upon the operating voltage. Both these losses are independent of the power factor. The power in kilowatt is proportional to the power factor of the load, which may be different for different loads. For instance, let the rating of an alternator be 1000 kVA. At full load, it will be in a position to deliver 400, 600, 800 and 1000 kilowatt at different power factors like 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 and 1 respectively. At these loads, current supplied by the alternator will be same and the losses will also remain same. The above explanation clearly shows that the rating of an alternator depends upon the maximum current it can deliver without overheating and voltage for which it is designed. The power factor of the load is not considered to give its rating. Hence, alternators are rated in kVA, not in kilowatt. Sometimes students of electrical engineering are asked that why the transformer rating is given in kVA. So same answer is applied in case of transformer, because in transformer core loss depends on voltage and copper loss depends on current. It is independent of the power factor of the load. Now, what is the armature resistance? Ra. The resistance per phase in armature resistance of an alternator is called armature resistance. Resistance of a winding depending upon the resistivity of the winding material, length and area of the cross section. So R equals to rho L by A. Rho is the resistivity, L is the length and A is the cross sectional area. Is called DC resistance of the winding. The actual AC resistance is nearly 1.25 to 1.75 times of DC resistance. It is higher because unequal distribution of alternating current, skin effect over the cross section of the conductor, voltage drop across the winding resistance. Because of this resistance, which is in phase with the current phasor, however, the value of this resistance is very small as compared to synchronous reactance of the machine. which is why many times its voltage drop effect is neglected. Heavy copper loss occur in the machine because of armature resistance. Now, what is the armature leakage reactance? When current flows through the armature conductors, local fluxes are set at various places. The flux which links with the armature winding but not with rotor field winding is called the leakage flux. The leakage flux may be divided into following three components. One is the slot leakage flux, the flux which links or surrounds the armature conductors embedded in the iron or placed in the slots but does not passes through the air gap is called the slot leakage flux. Air gap flux leakage, the flux which surrounds the armature conductor and passes through the air gap. The flux which comes from tooth to tooth in the air gap is called the air gap leakage flux. And third is the end connection leakage flux, flux which links with only the end connections of the armature winding is called end connection flux leakage flux. It is also called overhang leakage flux. So in this figure, leakage flux is shown. This is the air gap leakage flux. This is the slot leakage flux. And this is the total leakage flux. The total leakage flux which links with the armature winding conductors gives rise to inductance. The magnitude of leakage flux is given by L equals to phi n divided by I Henry. Phi is the total flux, leakage flux, n number of conductors, I is the current passing through the armature conductors. This inductance L when multiplied by omega gives the leakage reactance. So the formula of leakage reactance will be this. A voltage drop IXL occurs in the winding because of this reactance, and this voltage drop is in the quadrature of the current vector. Accordingly, induced EMF E equals to V plus IZ, or we can say V plus I R plus JXL. R is the resistance, rotor armature resistance, XL is the leakage reactance, I is the current passing through the conductors. Synchronous reactance and synchronous impedance. Synchronous reactance is a fictitious reactance which has the effect equivalent to the combined effects of both the leakage reactance and armature reactance, and it is represented as XS. So XS equals to leakage reactance plus armature reactance. Synchronous impedance, the vector sum of armature resistance and synchronous reactance is known as the synchronous impedance. So ZS will be I square R plus X square under root. Equivalent circuit of an alternator and phasor diagram. Let P R armature resistance, XL leakage reactance, XA armature reactance, I is the load current, E0 induced EMF, or no load voltage, and V is the terminal voltage. XS is equal to XL plus XA as we have seen, and ZS equals to R plus JXS. So E0 will be V plus IZ, where ZS is the synchronous impedance and I is the current. Let's see the phasor diagram and equivalent circuit first. So this is the load and terminal voltage shown. This is the total synchronous reactance, that is sum of leakage reactance and armature reactance. This is the armature resistance, and this is the E0 EMF induced in the armature. So this is the ideal machine, and this is the simplified equivalent circuit in which ZS is taken together as R plus JXS. The phasor diagram for non-inductive and inductive capacitive, we will see the phasor diagram. These are the phasor diagrams for unity, lagging and power factor. So the phasor diagram shows the inductive, capacitive and resistive load as shown in the figure. While drawing the phasor diagram, following steps are followed. Terminal voltage V taken as a reference vector. Load current I is drawn in phase with the voltage for non-inductive load. Inductive load, it can be drawn lags behind the voltage vector by an angle phi, and for capacitive it leads the voltage vector by the angle phi, where phi is the power factor angle. Draw the voltage drop IR parallel to current vector. Draw the voltage drop IXS from point B perpendicular to vector AB. Join O and C gives EMF E0 induced in the armature, and the main field phi m, or the terminal voltage at no load, is the vector sum of V, IR and IXS. So for resistive load, current I is in phase of V. So this is the voltage drop across the resistance, and this is the quadrature axis, shows the reactance drop in armature reactance, and this is the total IZS impedance voltage drop. If current is lagging by an angle phi, this is the I vector, and IR drop is in parallel with this I vector, whereas the IXS vector is just perpendicular to this vector IR, and this is the total impedance. In case of leading power factor, I is leading by V vector by an angle of phi, and IR drop is in parallel of I vector. IXS is perpendicular, and this is the total impedance. Now this vector in all the triangle gives the value of induced EMF E0. And the angle delta is the angle between E0 and the terminal voltage. Phasor diagram for different power factors. As we have seen, this is for unity power factor. Here this is the delta, power factor is cos phi equals to 0 and cos phi power factor is unity. In this case power factor is lagging, so current lags by phi angle with voltage vector. IR drop is in parallel, reactance drop is in perpendicular. Here the current I is leading, so the IR voltage drop is in parallel and reactance drop is in perpendicular for leading. Now what is the voltage regulation? We have seen that because of the voltage drop in the armature resistance and synchronous reactance, the terminal voltage of the synchronous generator depends upon the load and its power factor. The rise in terminal voltage when the given load is thrown off, the excitation and speed remaining constant is called the voltage regulation of a synchronous generator. It means the terminal voltage at full load or no load should remain same. So E0 is the no load terminal voltage and V is the voltage given at load. So the voltage regulation will be E0 minus V upon V per unit. In percentage it can be multiplied by 100. The voltage regulation is positive both at unity and lagging power factor because this causes rise in terminal voltage when the load is thrown off. However, in case of leading power factor, the terminal voltage may fall when the load is thrown off. Therefore, at leading power factor, voltage regulation may be negative. Now, what is the modern alternators? When the terminals of the alternator are short circuited due to any fault or short circuit current ISC flows through the armature conductors. This current depends upon the induced EMF E0 and the synchronous impedance ZS of the alternator. It means ISC equals to E0 upon ZS. This short circuit current may damage the armature winding of the alternator if ZS is very small. Therefore, to limit the short circuit current, the modern alternators are designed for higher synchronous impedance. The resistance cannot be increased because it would increase the losses in the machine. Thus, modern alternators are designed for higher synchronous reactance or leakage reactance but smaller resistance. The value of synchronous reactance is sometimes more than 20 times the armature resistance. Therefore, for all practical purposes, the voltage drop due to armature resistance is neglected as compared to the voltage drop due to synchronous reactance. Now we will see the short circuit ratio. The ratio of field current to produce rated voltage on open circuit to the field current required to circulate rated current on short circuit while the machine is driven at synchronous speed is called the SCR, short circuit ratio of a synchronous machine. From the graph, this is the OCC curve, open circuit characteristic curve, and this is the SCC, short circuit characteristic curve of an alternator. And this is the open circuit voltage per unit, and short circuit current is also taken on this same axis. So as we have seen that AB upon AE from the previous circuit, per unit voltage drop in open circuit divided by corresponding per unit current on short circuit equals to Xs. Therefore, short circuit ratio is nothing but the inverse of synchronous reactance. Thus, SCR just reciprocal of per unit reactance Xs of the machine. The value of synchronous reactance depends upon the saturated condition of the machine, whereas the SCR is specific and defined at rated voltage. Significance of short circuit ratio: smaller the value of SCR, larger is the value of synchronous reactance, which limits the short circuit current to smaller value, but it causes difficulty during parallel operation of the machine owing to smaller value of synchronizing power. Large value of SCR increases the stability of the machine and improves its voltage regulation. Usually, SCR of a high-speed non-salient pole alternator lies between 0.5 to 0.75 ohm, whereas it lies between 1 to 1.5 for low-speed salient pole type alternators. Therefore, the salient pole type alternators are more suitable than the non-salient pole type alternators. So, thanks for watching.